Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So, let's talk. I was not gonna buy this palette. I think that it is overpriced. I think it is repetitive, redundant, unnecessary. I feel like it's a little bit gimmicky with some of those special shades. I just feel like Huda palettes are so overhyped, so overpriced, and I don't really understand why. So anyways, I bought it, obviously. I caved to the hype. I really did. I felt some FOMO with this palette. I love a good burgundy, mauve-y kind of moment. So I actually really thought that this color story was quite beautiful. But here's the thing. It's got this like funny special shade in it that has these little like beady balls that I don't know what the point of it is, and the swatch of it that I've seen pictures of doesn't even look all that interesting. I could tell you for certain if it is interesting or if it is good quality if my palette had that shade. You see what's happening with mine? So I contacted Sephora and I was like, hey, I think you sent me a messed up palette. And they were like, okay, we can either give you a refund or we can send you a replacement. And I was like, if you send me a replacement, am I gonna have to send this one back? Because Amazon does that. If they send you a messed up product, you have to send it back to get a new one or they're gonna charge you double for it. So when they were like, we'll send you a replacement and you don't have to send that one back, I was like, bing, light bulb. I will get a replacement and I will do a giveaway with the replacement. Yay! So courtesy of Sephora Quality Control, we are having a giveaway in this video, or courtesy of Huda Quality Control. Who knows what it is? But the only thing about my review of this palette today is I really can't tell you much about this shade because it's not really there. I don't even know what it does because when I swatch it, like nothing happens. I felt like it was kind of stupid, but this palette is quite beautiful and I've used this twice now and then plus today, so 3 times total. So I'm going to do swatches and I'm going to do this look that you're seeing right now. And I'm gonna give more details about the giveaway at the end of the video. Also at the end of the video though, because not everyone's gonna be able to win the giveaway, I am going to give you some recommendations for other palettes that will kind of get you to the same place that this palette would, if that makes sense. So not necessarily dupes per se, but palettes that I feel like have similar enough color stories that you don't need to go spend $67. There are some unique shades in this one and we'll talk about that, but I don't know that it's worth the price tag and the Sephora sale can't last forever, right? But anywho, let's go ahead and dive in. Here we go. Ta-da! So here's what the inside looks like, by the way. The only thing I can really say about how it looks in person is it just reads a lot more brown. And I realize that it's like a nude palette, right? But I guess in the pictures and like promos and everything, I was expecting it to be more burgundy, plum, that type of a thing. But everything is just pretty brown, which is not necessarily a bad thing, just not quite what I was expecting. So anywho. Okay, so this one, it's a really light pink matte. It's called Filthy. Oh, this next one, I am quite obsessed with, and I'm gonna be using it on my lid today. It's called Passion. Oof, isn't that neat? I love it. This one's called Shameless, and this one's called Please Me. This one's called Hypnotic. This one's called Hard. This one's called Untamed. This one's called Irresistible. This one's called Flower Power. This one's called Rough, Spicy, which is my cat's name, and Arouse. Oh, I'm running out of room. This one's called Tantric. This one's called Naughty. And I'm gonna move up here to do some of the rest of these. This one's called Proactive. This one's called Desire. Okay, this one's called Juicy. And then that is everything except for this one funny shade, which I will show you. Really pretty palette, really pretty stuff. I just love that one so much. It's so cool. And then finally, this stupid weird shade down here called Slippery, as you can see, is incomplete for my palette. And I will swatch it, but I can tell you that nothing really happens when you swatch it, just because I guess it's not really there. But I will tell you, there's something like going over the little beads or whatever that are in there. It's like a clear type of jelly type film. So you're not actually like making, or at least it doesn't feel like you're actually making contact with the beads that are in there. I think the whole thing's pretty stupid anyways, but I'll go ahead and swatch it. Ugh. I'll do it like right here, I guess. I just feel like this is so stupid. Like, somebody please explain to me what the point of this particular shade is. I feel like I paid for an 18 pan palette and I got a 17 pan palette. Like, even if that shade wasn't jacked up, I still think I would think that it is just as stupid. Personally, let me know what y'all think. And I will say, this is my first big palette from Huda Beauty, but I do have several, like 4 or 5 of her little 9 pan palettes. And I would say that the quality of this one is pretty on par with those 9 pans, but I'll kind of talk about it more as we go along. I'm going to start though with this shade right here called Juicy. It's just a nice little neutral brown. Now this shade and this shade I feel like are quite similar. This shade Rough and Juicy, to where I don't know that they're necessarily both necessary in the palette. They're both just kind of like mid-tone neutral browns. Whatever. Now these shadows, particularly the mattes, they're pretty pigmented, so you really don't need a lot. I found that with this shade, I just needed like 1.5 dips, and it gave me pretty much what I needed. I really like this shade in particular just because it blends out super easily, super quickly. I just think that's so nice. Like, I realize it's a neutral brown matte shadow, but I'm actually quite enamored with this shade Juicy. It's just so easy, you know? It's just so easy. Pigmented blends, love it. Then I'm gonna take this shade right here called Untamed and use it to add some depth. Add some depth to the crease, darling. Now this shade, I did find that this one took a little bit more effort to blend, but it is a deeper shade, which I feel is pretty typical. And it is pretty pigmented, so that has to do with it as well, you know? But I would say, not unlike that first shade that we laid down, it's a pretty easy to work with shadow. You don't need a ton of it, and it blends. Now I'm just gonna take a little bit of this shadow right here called Proactive, and I'm just gonna use my little fangy, and I just wanna pack a little bit of it on the outer corner. Nothing too serial. Then I'm taking a little flat brush, and we are going to take Miss Passion up here, this really cool like tri-chrome, blue, purple, pink, something moment. And we're gonna go over most of the lid with it. So I have found in the past that like some Huda shadows work better with your finger. So yesterday when I initially used this shade, I did use my finger to kind of try to pack it on, but I found that it wasn't any better than if I just use my brush. I personally prefer a brush and to spray it with some setting spray whenever I'm doing like a metallic or a shimmer or whatever. But if you're like a finger person, then it works just as well to apply it with your finger. The thing about this shadow though is, while I am obsessed with it and I love it and I think it's so cool and so unique, this is not why I bought this palette. It's supposed to be that kind of like deep nude burgundy feel. At least that was my impression. seeing pictures and advertisements and whatever. But my favorite shade in it ended up being a shade that I wasn't even really anticipating to be in it. Does that make sense? But I do really like it. I think it's super nifty. Finally, I'm gonna go into this shade Irresistible and kind of put it on the inner corner a little bit. This shade Irresistible and this shade right here, Shameless, and probably some of the others, like I would imagine Tantric probably, and Desire maybe. Anyways, Fallout is the point I was trying to make. It's kind of glittery, and I did get quite a bit of fallout on my face yesterday after applying it. Just something to keep in mind, but it's cute. Just a little simple, elegant, natural daytime look, am I right? Let me finish up with everything and I'll be right back. And voila, here she is. Look is complete. Let me get up close to give you a little up close taste if you care. My final verdict on the palette, it's a really nice palette. I like it a lot. The shadows are good quality. Is it worth the price tag? I really don't think so. Even the sale price that I bought it at, I feel like it's just really expensive for a brown palette. I don't know, it just, to me, not really worth it. I mean, I am obsessed with this shade Passion that I have over most of my lid. I think the look turned out really nice. The mattes are pigmented, they blend. The shimmers, some of them are a little chunky and glittery, and so you're gonna deal with some fallout, but none of them are like lackluster. They're all really pretty. So it's one of those things that, like, if you have the money and you want it, go for it. It's not gonna be a waste of money. It is a nice palette. I do think that there are some better, more affordable options though. For example, so I'm pretty sure that this is a dupe for her nude palette, the first nude palette, but this is from Hard Candy and this is really, really nice. It's got a couple of pressed glitters. The shimmers in it are nice, and as you can see, it's got some of those kind of deep brown, burgundy, mauve shades in it. I got this at Walmart. It was like 10 bucks. Then also, oh my gosh, you guys, I have been obsessed with this palette. It's so good, for real. This is the Minimalist palette from Profusion. As you can see, it's got a lot of browns. It's got like some neutral browns. It's got some warm browns. It's even got some mauve, burgundy type of shades. It's got shimmers. It's got metallics. It's got pressed glitters. Girl, this palette has everything. And it was $13 at Walmart. So shout out to my girl Danielle. Her channel is called Glamburger. She recommended Profusion shadows to me, so I picked this up at Walmart. It's so good. Also, I've talked about this palette before, but this is from the brand Moira. This is their Glow and Gleam palette. This one, as you can see, it's got some browns, some burgundy, mauve, and if like that shimmer Passion was kind of what drew you in, this one has a really nifty kind of duochrome type of shade in it as well. So just another good option if you're looking for those types of shadows. Also the LA Girl Break Free. This one's more like mauve, purpley almost type of shades, but it's really good as well. The Kimchi Rainbow Sharks palette is also really nice. It's got some fun colors, but then some nice browns over here. Also, I have this palette from Lorac. This is their Pro Palette Noir. And it's not, obviously it's not exactly the same as that Naughty palette, but it does have some good neutral mattes in it, as well as a good selection of shimmers in this palette. This one is half the price of the Naughty palette, so this is also a good option if that's just kind of the general, like, good quality neutral shadows that you're looking for, if that makes sense. So anyways, I think that there are options out there where you can achieve a similar look for a much lower price, but it is a nice palette. I went into this fully wanting to be a hater on this palette because it's just so expensive, but the shadows are really, really nice, very pigmented, they blend easily, the look really didn't take too much effort, and I like it a lot. So there you go. Okay, but let's go ahead and talk about the giveaway because, like I said, I do have another one of these palettes coming in the mail. So giveaway rules are simple as always. Just make sure you're subscribed to my channel, follow me on Instagram, like this video, and leave me a comment. Leave me a comment with an emoji that you think would complement this Naughty palette. One thing I do want to say though is if you are an international friend watching this and you want to enter the giveaway, go ahead and enter. And if you win, I will do my best to send you the palette. The only thing is, as I'm sure you can imagine with Miss Rona and everything, international shipping has just been ridiculously expensive here lately. So I can't promise that I'll be able to send it to you, but I will try. I have been trying to send my guy Keeny Baby, his name's Keen. I call him Keeny Baby, like a beanie baby. Anyways, Keen, I have been trying to send him a package for like a year now. I have some Fenty products that I want to send him, but he lives in the Philippines and it's literally been like $100 to ship a 1-pound box to the Philippines. So I can't promise that I'll be able to send it to you if you are international, but I will try. If you win, I will check rates and all of that, and I will try to get it to you. And if you're in the US, it should be a little bit simpler to ship it to you. So anyways, I just wanted to add that in there. Also, after my giveaways, I always get questions about like who won, and I never really like announce it in my videos, mostly because I talk a lot as it is, so it's kind of already a challenge to edit down what I do have relevant to that video, let alone try to add in an additional announcement of like, you didn't win, you know what I mean? So for the most part, if you don't hear from me about it, you can just assume that you didn't win. But also, I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers as of when I'm making this video. And when I hit 1,000 subscribers, YouTube will give me access to like the community page or whatever, which means that I can put up little posts on my channel with like announcements, previews, whatever. So if/when I hit 1,000 subscribers and I have that feature, I will announce it there, the winner of the giveaway, that is. Also, if/when I hit 1,000 subscribers, be looking for another giveaway because we're gonna have to celebrate, right? So anyways, rules to enter the giveaway will also be down in the description box. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.